With the George Pell, with the criticisms from one of the Pope's own appointees, Peter Saunders, is George Pell now perhaps a liability for the Church?
I wouldn't see it quite that way. I know that Saunders is one member of a commission of 17 people. I'm informed that his comments are made in his own personal capacity. He's never met George Pell. He doesn't know the Australian situation. And therefore, I think his comments can only be seen as something which is second-hand on what other people may have told him. I think that needs to be taken. I would want to respect Saunders, and I'm not minimising the challenge that's there. But I think, on the other hand, we've got to recognise George Pell has done a tremendous amount to set up the Melbourne response, to set up practices to assist victims, to deal with offending priests, and I think his role there has to be considered carefully.
But here we have a man who does understand the system, and you're right, he's an observer, but and he is committed in the sense that he's a victim himself. But he says that the Cardinal's position's untenable. Now, and that perhaps goes to perceptions as much as anything else. Is it just a bad look for the Church? Is it time to move on?
I think, from what I understand it, Saunders' perception is a second-hand perception. That's got to be weighed against all of the work that Cardinal Pell is doing for the Church, and the Pope will make whatever call. I personally don't believe that, with all the work that Pell has done and is doing, that he should be stood aside. But I do believe, as Pell has said himself, that he must and will cooperate with the Royal Commission, and he wants to face any questions, accusations that are made against him. And I think that's highly appropriate.
Have you spoken to him in the past few weeks?
I speak to him from time to time. We don't normally discuss business or anything like that.
Oh, I see. So you haven't discussed this issue with him?
No.
Is that strange? I mean, you're in charge of Melbourne, and a lot of the reaction is happening here in Melbourne and Victoria.
I think, we would respect... I have to deal with Melbourne. I have to look after Melbourne. Melbourne is not Ballarat, but I've been shocked, as everyone else has been shocked, at the awful things which have emerged in Ballarat.
Were you shocked about the allegations about George Pell?
There were matters, of course, that were raised earlier, and he believes he's answered. What was raised in Ballarat are questions which he will have to answer.
So you agree there are still questions to answer?
Yeah, and I think he will do so with integrity and honesty, because I know him as a straight, honest, good man and a great Australian.
Francis Sullivan from the Truth, Justice, Healing Commission says there are questions to be answered still, and you agree?
I don't see it quite the way Francis does. I see that truth and the work of the Royal Commission requires that the matters that have been raised be answered, and I'm quite sure Cardinal Pell will do that.